Hello, it's a driver's debrief vlog for February the 22nd, 2024. Didn't do a mock test today. It was just brushing up on sort of weak areas, shall we say, that happened during this week's mock test that I did, so that next time I can have a mock test again. Got about 2 more weeks to the test. That translates into a definite 2 lessons, but I'm not sure I might get a 3rd lesson in. It depends on what Tony's doing or his availabilities. Today we went into Launceston, brushed up on a few things that I mentioned last video. So we did the double mini roundabout again. We did the line of parked cars. We did a bit of dual carriageway driving. We did a bit of medium-sized roundabouts. I think we went round an industrial estate. We went down a long windy country road. We actually went to the edge of the test centre. You can't go all the way down the hill to the actual test centre because they don't like it, because they want to be in operation, I guess, for the people being examined. So we went halfway to the next building along and saw the entrance to the test centre, which you have to go from like a National 60 road in 4th gear to 1st gear, and it's hard to spot the entrance you're going into. Also did a couple of bay parkings in a supermarket car park. First one I fucked up. I was not within the lines, basically. Asked to fix it. The best way to fix it, Tony says, is I was going to wind my way while I was in the space to fix it. That was dumb. Yeah, you probably have to consider that there'd be a car parked either side of you, so you can't do that sort of correction. Best thing to do is just to come straight back into the road, and then you can see the 2 lines in front of you. Then you can kind of wind your way in between the lines again. On my second correction, the front bonnet went over the line. He said that would have been a fail, so I went too far forward. That's the thing I need to worry about when there's no wall in front of me, like there was when I was doing bay parking tests in the Wharf car park. There's a big wall in front of you, so you know how far you can't go, but there's no wall, there's no beeping from the car when you're in a bay park at a supermarket. You just have to kind of guess by looking at the cars either side of you out the window and lining up your wing mirror with theirs, just not going too far forward and stopping. The outer circle of the supermarket car park is like a one-way system, but there's like 3 inroads, and those are 2-way. So when the examiner asks you when you're ready to reverse out, you can reverse out left or right. You can reverse out in either direction unless he tells you which way to reverse out. And then you can drive down those 2-way roads to the outskirts of the car parking lot, at which point it becomes a 1-way system. So you have to follow I think it's a clockwise direction. I don't know if that's the same in every circumstance, but here it was. What else? No animals came out in front of us. Last lesson I might not have told you, but a pheasant came out in front of us. That didn't happen. No animals came out in front of this lesson. There was a shit ton of potholes, unfixed by council, as you'd imagine, because they're not private roads. And tons of puddles. It had been raining very heavily this morning, and when we were driving it was raining moderately, but all the roads had massive puddles in them, like the biggest puddles I've seen so far on these driving lessons. Tony's remedy for which is to just move out into the centre of the road and slow down to a lower gear, or even move out to the other side of the road. As long as it's clear, you can just go on the other side of the road, which just feels very counterintuitive when you've got a very long, consistent puddle on the left taking up almost the entire side of your road. And he's like, just go on the other side of the road or go in the middle. I think he says go in the middle mainly because the camber means it's shallower in the middle, and then you go slower. We didn't aquaplane, but we drove through a couple of puddles slightly too fast, and I could actually feel this time the car slowing down as the left side of it entered the puddle. It didn't turn the car steering or anything. He says the worst that kind of aquaplaning is when all 4 wheels are in a puddle and you're like skimming over the surface. And if your tyre pressure is too low, which is why he checks it every week, checks his tyre pressure is high enough because it gives you good grip, especially in these sorts of conditions. Helps stop aquaplaning and stuff. But yeah, lots of puddles to avoid. It feels very awkward going to the right side of the road. There are a couple of times where we had to overtake on blind bends, huge trucks doing like hedge cutting and stuff, and they're taking up the entire our side of the road. And it was not really very clear how we could go around them. But Tony was like adamant, like, we should go around them now. Let's go around them now. I was like, is it clear? Are we not going to go in a head-on collision here? And he says, you just do it anyway, and if you're going slow enough, then it decreases the potential damage if someone did come around the corner, or if you have to go around a particularly deep puddle rather than go into it. There's one very muddy brown puddle which we assumed was quite deep, and he wanted to go all the way on the other side of the road around it on a blind bend, and I thought, hey, maybe a motorcycle could bomb it down here at us, or a car going like high speed because it's a National 60 road, why wouldn't they? And he said, well, if we decrease our speed, then that's the best we can do, and if you're in a low gear you have more power. If something was coming, he would just take evasive action and jink hard to the left, go into the puddle we were avoiding and accelerate into it, sort of thing. But yeah, I was a bit a bit scared to go around it on that blind bend. But we did. Trying to think of other things that happen. Oh yeah, we did. We came out of where the test centre was, above where the test centre was. Came out. We turned right instead of left. We went up a bunch of country roads. We took another right up there in this National 60 zone, and we went down some weird windy country zones. One of which had quite a fantastic view. You could see like a distant snaking road down below us. It's a shame it wasn't a sunny day because, yeah, you could just make it out and there was like fog across the top of it, but it would have been a cool view. And this was like very windy, very bendy, single file roads, tractors passing and stuff. And after we did that bit, he got me doing the emergency stop because I told him that I'd only done it once with him. So we did it 3 more times, but we did it in an awkward way. So I wasn't really prepared for it, and I only braked hard enough on the 3rd go because we pulled in at the left side of the road, and he said, okay, now, this is as good as place as any, we're going to do the emergency stop. Get up to 2nd gear, we'll do it in 2nd gear, 20 miles an hour, he said. So I started going, pulled outside the road, did my checks, and then I got to 1st gear, and then I got to 2nd. I just got into 2nd gear, and he's like, "Stop!" I was like, "What?" And we were like, it's like a slow deceleration because I didn't realise actually that because I'd forgotten because I've been using the brake for normal driving so long that I've forgotten the brake pedal can go down so far, and the only time you get to test that is during the emergency stop. So you literally have to put your right foot down as far down as it will go, as fast as it will go. And the first 2 times I did not do that because I thought I'd reached the full extent of the pedal, but it's just because I've become so used to normal driving on the brake that I thought that was where the brake ended. It isn't. The brake goes down a lot deeper than that. So the 3rd time is like all the way down. You brake down first, clutch down, and then most important part is you got to stop for a moment. And the instructor or examiner might say drive on, but you've got to pause for a moment, have a breather, even though I felt kind of rushed by Tony. And then you've got to check every direction, obviously, including behind you, both blind spots and everything, before moving off. That's the important thing of the emergency stop. Brake very hard, brake and clutch, brake then clutch, and do all the checks all around you just after it's done, before you drive off. I think that covers most of what we did today. I'm struggling at coming off of slip roads. Keeping my position coming off of slip roads, keeping my speed down while keeping my position, doing the steering you need to turn right and then head for this roundabout. And then doing the roundabouts is still kind of hectic. I think I did 1 well, and then I did 2 not so well. Too much prompting sort of thing by Tony while I was doing it, so I can't have been doing them well. But he said when we got back that most of the time that he's not talking, I'm doing stuff well. So I've been doing a lot of stuff a lot better. He just hasn't mentioned it because he only brings up stuff when it's bad, sort of thing. So he hasn't really highlighted to me what the good things are. He's just like, when I'm not talking, it's good. But it feels to me like when he's not talking, it's all kind of frosty and it's like disappointment territory, like I'm doing something wrong. It's just like, oh, he's not talking to me because I'm doing something wrong. So, yeah, I can't really get that into... I prefer encouragement for what I have done right and communication of what I have done right rather than, oh, if I don't talk, then it's right, sort of thing. But whatever, hey-ho, this is my driving instructor. I had some talk about Dartmoor tours on the way back. Apparently he tried to go walking in this mess and it was just like, yeah, it's all muddy and wet out there, it's no good. Anyway, that was today's lesson this Thursday. Next lesson, I believe, will be Tuesday. Then we'll have 1 week after that. And then the following Monday after that is the test. Thank you for watching.
Whistler, nice to meet you, man.
I heard a lot about you. Josh, you can call me Scud, though. Everybody does.
Tell me something, Skid.
No, man, it's Scud. Scud like stud, Scud.
Whatever. What you doing here?
Pitmobile? Just a little aftermarket modification.
Knock your socks out, shit like that.
Oh, yeah. You gave it a more aggressive exhaust profile ramping.
Yeah, the whole package will crank that Betty up maybe 300 horsepower.
You burn the damn thing out before your next oil change. Where'd you dig up this shitbird, anyway?
The fuck's your problem, Poppy?
My problem is I've been sucking blood clots for 2 years. I get out to find some jerk off fucking with my life's work.
Hey, we jeopardized our whole operation to save your puckered old ass.
Our operation?
Yeah.
Our operation? I built this operation, you ass wipe.
Motion sensors.
Human.
Body temperature 50, I guess suckhead. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't trust you.